Ladies and gentlemen, before we take a single step into the higher principles of success, let us stand firmly upon the foundation stone, the one truth upon which every achievement, great or small, must rest. That truth is this: definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. It is the compass that gives direction to your labor. It is the beacon light that guides you through the fog of uncertainty. It is the very starting point of every fortune, every invention, every discovery, and every lasting success the world has ever known. Now understand me well. A purpose is not a wish, nor a passing fancy, nor the dream you speak of idly over a cup of coffee. A purpose is a clear, definite, and burning desire for something specific. So definite that you can describe it in a single sentence. So definite that you could explain it to a child. So definite that you can see it in your mind's eye before a single step is taken toward it. Once you have fixed that purpose, you must then clothe it in a definite plan. That plan need not be perfect in the beginning. It need not be the final draft. For you may find, as I have found, that your first plan will need changing, and that is well and proper. A sound purpose is eternal. A plan is flexible, but you must begin with both. And here I pause to tell you something of the greatest importance. It is not fatal to begin with a faulty plan, provided you keep your purpose unshaken. If you discover the plan is not sound, you may adjust it, improve it, replace it entirely. But if your purpose is vague, shifting with every wind that blows, no plan, however perfect, will carry you far. Therefore I say, decide first with all the firmness of your soul what it is you desire above all else. Write it out in clear and simple language. Fix it where your eyes will see it each day. Commit it to memory so that you can speak it aloud without hesitation. Then and only then, begin laying out the steps by which you will bring it to pass. Now it is not enough merely to know your purpose. It is not enough to possess a plan. You must begin, and begin at once, to put that plan into action. Too many people stand forever at the starting line, waiting for a moment of absolute certainty that never comes. Permit me to assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that the right time to begin is now. If you delay until every condition is favorable, you will delay forever. Action, even imperfect action, beats inaction every time. For action draws to you knowledge, experience, opportunity, and allies that no amount of mere wishing could ever summon. You will see, before we have finished this lesson, why definiteness is the first principle of all achievement. Without it, the mind is like an unmoored ship, drifting with the tide and wind, at the mercy of whatever current it meets. With it, the mind becomes like a vessel on a fixed course, powered by engines of desire and steered by the hand of deliberate choice. This is not theory, my friends. It is law, and nature will not bend her law for you, nor for me, nor for any man or woman. She gives her richest rewards only to those who know what they want, who have a plan to get it, and who act without hesitation or retreat. So I say to you, choose your purpose. Fix it in your mind. Tie yourself to it with cords that cannot be broken. And from this day forward, let every thought, every act, and every decision move you in its direction. Now that you have fixed your purpose and begun the work of shaping a plan, you must understand the driving force that will keep that plan alive. That force is motive. Ladies and gentlemen, all individual achievement is the result of a motive, or a combination of motives. A man does not act without reason. A woman does not labor without cause. Whether in business, in personal relations, or in the smallest affairs of life, the engine of every action is motive. You have no right to ask another person to do anything unless you give them an adequate motive for doing it. This is the warp and the woof of all salesmanship. And I speak not only of selling goods, but of selling ideas, selling cooperation, selling your vision to those whose aid you require. The master salesman is not merely one who knows his product. He is the one who knows the 9 basic motives that move men and women to act, and who plants in the mind of his listener a desire strong enough to produce action. Without motive, there is no motion. And now we come to a most astonishing truth of the mind. Any dominating idea, plan, or purpose, if held in the mind through the repetition of thought, and if emotionalized with a burning desire for its realization, is taken over by the subconscious mind and acted upon through whatever natural and logical means may be available. Here, ladies and gentlemen, you have one of the most powerful laws of psychology ever discovered. If you wish the mind to accept an idea and to form a habit of acting upon it, you must tell the mind what you want over and over and over again. There is no substitute for repetition. But repetition alone is not enough. A lifeless statement, uttered without feeling, is no more than sound in the air. You must clothe your words in emotion. You must feel them as you speak them. You must believe them. A statement repeated without belief is an empty shell. But a statement repeated with faith becomes a seed planted deep in the fertile soil of the subconscious, where it will take root and grow until it bears fruit in reality. It matters not to the subconscious whether the seed is good or bad, true or false, great or small. Plant fear, and it will grow fear. Plant courage, and it will grow courage. Plant poverty, and it will grow poverty. Plant abundance, and it will grow abundance. The subconscious is a servant, a faithful one, but it must be given instructions, and it will follow those instructions precisely, whether they lead you upward to success or downward to failure. Therefore, I say to you, take possession of your mind. Become its master, not its victim. Write out your definite purpose. Memorize it. Repeat it daily with feeling until your subconscious accepts it as reality. Back it with action, and the time will come when your subconscious will begin working for you day and night without effort on your part, drawing to you the people, the circumstances, and the opportunities you require. This is no overnight miracle. If for years you have been feeding your mind with fear, doubt, and indecision, you cannot expect to undo that in a day or a week. But if you persist, if you keep your thought fixed upon your purpose and your words filled with belief, the change will come. And when it does, you will find that life begins to move in your favor in ways that seem almost miraculous. There is one state of mind, and one only, that will cause the subconscious to act at once. That state of mind is known as faith. Now, when I speak of faith, I do not mean wishing. I do not mean hoping. I do not mean a mild belief that trembles at the first sign of trouble. No, I refer to a state of mind so positive, so certain, that you can see your goal as already accomplished before you have even taken the first step toward it. When a man or woman reaches this state, they cease to wonder whether a thing can be done. They know it can be done because in their mind it already exists. And the subconscious, accepting this as truth, goes to work with all the power of the universe to bring it into physical form. Now, I have never undertaken anything in my life that I did not accomplish, unless I weakened in my own desire or allowed my mind to change course. And you too can reach this point where your faith in yourself is so complete that hesitation becomes impossible. Yet look about you, and you will see that between 98 and 100% of people never develop this kind of faith. They sell themselves short. They accept from life only what happens to come their way. instead of demanding what they truly desire. They fail to see that nature has given them the tools, the mind, the imagination, the will, to claim anything they can clearly define and believe in. Nature is generous to the man or woman who accepts her gifts and puts them to use. But she penalizes those who neglect them. She hates idleness. She despises a vacuum. She insists that the mind, like the body, must be used, or it will wither until the will of others directs it. The greatest of these gifts is the power of thought. It is the only thing over which you have complete and unquestionable control. This is a fact so profound that it reveals a close relationship between the mind of man and infinite intelligence. There are only 5 known things in the universe: time, space, matter, energy, and intelligence. Without intelligence, the other 4 would be chaos. This universal intelligence is present in every atom, in every blade of grass, in the very air we breathe. It is the source of all invention, all progress, all achievement, and every one of us may draw upon it, but only through the use of our mind. Here is the great secret. The subconscious mind appears to be the only doorway by which the individual may approach infinite intelligence. You cannot reach it through idle wishing. You cannot reach it through half-hearted belief. You can approach it only through a definite purpose, a clear plan, a burning desire, and a faith so strong that you act as though the result were already in your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, from this moment on, you have a choice. You may drift, as most people do, taking whatever life hands you. Or you may stand up, declare what you want, form a plan, act upon that plan, and back it with faith until the world yields it to you. The tools are in your hands. The law is before you. Nature will not change her methods for you or for any man, but she will reward richly those who obey them. Fix your purpose, repeat it daily. See it as already accomplished. Act without hesitation, and claim the life that is waiting for you. For the most powerful success lesson Napoleon Hill ever taught is not a trick nor a mystery. It is simply this: decide exactly what you want, believe you can have it, and act until it is yours.